Welcome back to Kerbal Space Program Career Mode. Okay, now in the last episode, we got somebody up to the asteroid and we recovered some science from it. And that's all well and good, but we want to send up a crew this time to get a lot more science at once. And so with that in mind, I present the Hoover 1D. Now this ship has been modified. It's a modified version of the 1C. And it will bring up 5 capsules, each containing a Kerbal who will go EVA and take samples from the asteroid and then use the tiny amount of fuel in the tiny little 48-7S rocket engine to return to Kerbin once they have got their fill. And that way we'll have a whole lot more science out of one mission. Alright, let's get our crew assignments. Okay, we'll move Jeb down here. He can have one of the command pods, but he's not going to pilot the ship regardless how stubborn he is. In fact, Patney Kerman is going to be the pilot. And Bob and Jeb can each have one of these other seats. And we'll put Desperate Kerman with 0 stupidity in charge of the last one. Alright. And now let us head to the launch pad. And see if we can get this thing all the way up to actual rendezvous with the asteroid. Alright, SAS on. Let's have a look up topside. Set the asteroid as a target. Good old polar orbit. And we need the space center directly beneath that orbit, or maybe just a teensy bit before it. And that tells me, okay, I was going to take off south, so I need to take off north because of the direction that asteroid is orbiting. And stop right there. It's a little bit of lead time, but it'll give me time to get the ship up and moving. Turn that off. We don't need it. Alright, let's get down here. Alright, let's do this thing. I'm going to use the Delta V stats instead of the resource map. And let's see. Smart ASS, we'll set that sucker for surface. Heading 0, pitch 88. Okay, SAS on. Throttle us up, and let's rock. Alright, camera to free mode. That should be part of my pre-launch checklist. Alright, and by the way, KSP looks any different, it's because I am recording full screen. I've actually got it in full screen mode, so we'll see how that turns out. In my tests, it's looked pretty good. Alright, we're approaching half a kilometer, so let's execute our initial pitch and turn to the heading of 0 degrees. Let's make sure this is set up. Relative inclination is coming down, slowly at first, of course. Alright, we're looking good. Let's set 85 degrees and go ahead and pitch to 85 now. And set 70. No, set 80 is the next pitch. How's our Mach number? Well, we've passed Mach 1. we have Mach effect. Alright, pitching to 80. Setting up 75. And just rinse and repeat until we have the angle we need and actually get an apoapsis up there where the asteroid is, which I need to check. It's at an altitude of 206. 189 by 207. Okay, that's good. That's just fine and dandy. Alright, let's get our pitch down to 75. I'm going to back off the throttle a bit and get our acceleration down to into the green zone. Just. Getting a bit warm in there. Pitching 70. Relative inclination continues to come down. See how low we can get that. Go ahead and turn the lights on. Mach 2.2 and continuing to accelerate. Pitching 65. And up top side, it's getting there. Planetary rotation is taking everything under the orbit of the asteroid. Pitching 60. And let's go to 45. The sucker is turning. Only 35 degrees. Well, yeah, 35 degrees out of plane. Pitch to 35 degrees. Apoapsis is up to 90 kilometers. Doing good, looking good. Relative inclination is down to 25.8. We're looking good. Mach 3.3. Pitch down to 25 degrees now. Apoapsis up to 107 and climbing. And relative inclination is looking better. Still has quite a ways to go, but we'll get there. Let's pitch down to 10 degrees now. And given our altitude, we should soon be able to go ahead and deploy our solar panels. I don't think they're going to matter too hideously awfully much, but Every little bit helps. Let's go ahead and pitch to 0. Deploy solar panels. Oh, good grief. Only one of them deployed. Well, let's stage these away. I didn't check my action groups, did I? I hate having to do it this way. That's why I make such extensive use of the action groups in terms of solar panels. Always set all solar panels on number 1 for deploy or toggle. Alright, we don't need far anymore. Relative inclination down to 15.2 and still dropping. Adjust the heading to 355. The idea is to pull that relative inclination down lower. To push this end that way a little bit and this end this way. Sorta. We're still going to have a plane change burn in orbit, but I don't think that's going to be too much of a problem now. Now that the relative inclination is down so much lower. We're about main engine cutoff point here though, so perhaps we can fix the inclination at apoapsis when we do the circularization burn. I think it will be worth trying. Okay, looking good. We'll let the apoapsis get up to about 190 and then we'll cut off and set up for circularizing and see if we can fix the plane change at the same time. Main engine cutoff. Okay. Let's set up that maneuver. We'll set it up at apoapsis. Alright, yeah. Ah. Okay. I think that's going to help a little bit, but the main plane change burn is going to have to be here at the node. Alright, we'll work on that. Set the alarm. Zero minutes and 15. That'll be enough. Alright, let's swing around to the node and get ready to burn this thing. Okay. Teensy bit late starting to burn. Shouldn't be a problem though. Okay, we have a 191 by 188, 191 by 188 orbit. Relative inclination is down to 4.62 degrees. That's good. Maneuver here at... No. Oh. Forgot to get rid of the old maneuver. Okay. Maneuver here at the ascending node. And that is 4.6 positive, so we need some negative normal to fix that. There we go, right there. 0, 0. All right. Set the alarm. Ahead of the burn just a little bit this time. Get in position for that. Time warp out to it. Okay. Go. Okay. Okay, we're only 0.1 out of plane, so that'll be good enough. Now our target is in a somewhat slightly higher orbit. Actually, I'm going to reduce this orbit a little bit. We'll just swing around here to retrograde. We're almost at the periapsis, so this is a perfect time to do it. And we'll bring the apo down a little bit. About 185. Alright. The idea is for our orbit to be lower than that of the asteroid so that we can circle around a little faster and catch up with it. It's here. We're here. We have to close that distance, which currently is 1,400 kilometers. And we'll be at the closest approach in a minute and a half. Alright, this is the point where I generally will go off camera and burn some time as these ships orbit closer. I may go ahead and bring that apoapsis down a little bit more. I don't know, that ought to do it. It's a 10-kilometer difference. So, I will be back.